Planet Earth. Yep. Pretty strange place, I think. And there goes another year, people. Another year of filling our lives with stuff. Filling our brains, I guess, with stuff. There's some poem, okay? And the poem has a super short title and a super short, I guess, body? I don't know. The poem says this, alright? It says, and the ghosts, they own everything. I think about that poem a lot. And I agree. Okay. But while we're here, right, let's just maybe enjoy the things we do have. And you do have something. You have a really cool chair, okay, despite what some people tell you. Oh, and you have that too. That is a list, okay? You have that as well. Maybe the most important thing of this video. And wait. Oh, one second. Come on. Okay, yep, all right. And lastly, you have a little dog named Maury. Everyone, welcome to the best albums of 2022. Thank you for being here. All right, people, I hope you enjoyed that little intro, okay? It was a lot of fun to make. So this year, I've got a sick list of 20 albums. It's been a really great year for music, in my humble opinion. And so let's get started, okay? Here we go. Number 20 is And in the Darkness, Hearts Aglow by Weyes Blood, or Weyes Blood. I think it's Weyes Blood, whatever. Number 19 is Mahal by Toro y Moi. I don't want this video to waste too much of your time, so I'm going to rifle through a couple real quick. Number 18 is Life on Earth by Hurray for the Riff Raff. Number 17 is Skinty Fia by Fontaines D.C. And number 16 is Motomami by Rosalia. Brilliant album. Okay, number 15 is Classic Objects by Hval. Number 14 is Life Is Yours by Foals. I ride for Foals. I've been a diehard my whole life, okay? So this is a great album. And then number 13 is Laurel, Hval by Mitski. That last album was great. This is better. Number 12 is an album that was gifted to me early on in the year. Completely off my radar. I listened to it pretty much the whole year. It's Bronco by Orville, Peck. This is the second year this artist has been on my list. This album came out literally towards the end of 2022. It's just a great album. It's No Thank You by Little Simz. Number 10, we're in the top 10. Number 10 is Spirituals by Santigold. Truly, I think Santigold is super underrated nowadays. I really don't know why. She makes incredibly intense music, many different genres, and I just think she has a lot of good stuff to say. Number 9 is Lucifer on the Sofa by Spoon. Good boy. I'm coming to you live from the reflection of a Zenith TV. Come on, people. Number 8 is Cave World by Viagra Boys. Now, this is an album that kind of subverts expectations. It's a punk rock album, kind of, I mean, mostly. Usually punk rock's about anti-government, down with society, whatever. This really is an album that combats right-wing extremism, and it does so in a very humorous, intense way. And there's also a lot of talk about science and evolution. So, I mean, crap, dude, it's like a indie hipster's dream punk rock album. But I personally love it. It gets better and better and better with each listen, and I think you should check it out. All right, thanks. Zenith TV, over and out. All right, number 7 is Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers by Kendrick Lamar. Some people are saying this album's not as good as some of his other albums. I somewhat agree. This album has a lot of kind of creative threads throughout it that I think don't really get sort of tied off well, but it does have threads. Number 6 is A Light for Attracting Attention by The Smile. Now you kind of have to say, like, this is Tom York's album that came out this year, kind of like a Radiohead side project thing, whatever. It's just so good. There's a lot of experimentation, and there's like kind of punk rock sounding songs, and the slower songs, though, I'm telling you, just like any good Radiohead album, the slower songs are just absolutely mind-blowing, mesmerizing, so beautiful. It's just yeah, it's good. We are in the top 5 now. Number 5 is Blue Rev by Alvvays. Now this album came out, got a lot of great reviews. I've truly never listened to Alvvays. I've since kind of revisited their catalog, but this album just feels so special. It has an energy, a sort of propulsiveness to it that just makes it very addicting to listen to. Lots of amazing guitars and vocals, some movements and changes in each individual song, and all the songs feel very different and feel like their own thing. So anyways, great album, check it out. Thank you. I miss you, chair. Okay, now we're getting into the personal collection phase of this list. Number 4 is The Car by the Arctic Monkeys. Arctic Monkeys have been my favorite band for as long as I can remember. I remember listening to their album in 04, 05 and just being blown away, and I've been a strong follower ever since. It's been amazing to watch them grow and progress throughout the years. It sounds cheesy, but I feel like I've sort of like grown up with them, and this album is just incredibly lush. Every song has strings and piano, and this album, more than any other album this year, truly just transported me to another place and another time. This album has an interesting theme and message and topic throughout. Specifically, it talks about sort of like filmmaking and cinematography, which is kind of strange, but whatever. Arctic Monkeys do what they want, and no one's making music like this. Arctic Monkeys, The Car. Number 3. Now I think number 3 is very, very special. I think this album, more than any other album, will go down in history as a classic indie rock album. It feels like one of those classic indie rock albums that will get newcomers, like those young college kids, okay, to join the genre of indie rock. Similar to like Funeral by Arcade Fire, Apologies to the Queen Mary by Wolf Parade. Those two were huge for me. But then like similar to other classics, Airplane Over the Sea, Neutral Milk Hotel, Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, whatever. I truly believe this album will join the ranks of classic indie rock albums. It is Ants from Up There by Black Country New Road. This is such a beautiful album. It's a very real album. There's a lot of real instrumentation. You don't need no synthesizer bullcrap, okay? Everything just feels very real, very honest, and similar to those other sort of influencing indie rock albums, it's very emo, okay? A lot of the songs are pretty intense, very emotional. Some of them go very, very down, very low emotionally, and some of them kind of pick you back up. and it's just for that reason. It's such a good album. Now there was sort of like controversy, kind of. I think it caused people to miss this album a little bit due to the lead singer leaving the band, like pretty much right when the album came out. But I truly think it's such a great album, and highly recommend it if you're a fan of indie rock music. Oh, here it is. My number 2 favorite album of the year. Dragon New Warm Mountain, I Believe in You by Big Thief. This is the number 2 album. It could have been number 1. It just, my emotions changed by the day, by the week, by the month. This is a double album, 20 songs from Big Thief. This is a prolific band, okay? I think last year or the year before they released 2 albums. And so they continue the trend by releasing this double album. This album is life. There is so much joy and sadness and experience and contemplation jammed into this album. It's just an adventure every time you listen to it. Now, to be fair, 20 songs might be a bit much. A couple of the songs, at least one of them for sure, I'm like, skip every time. But every other song, I'm constantly jumping back, constantly seeking out. Some of my favorite songs of the year are on this album. Spud Infinity is hilarious and just fun to listen to. And then also Simulation Swarm, which I think is kind of a classic song about war for the modern age. Anyways, this album is life. It's about life. It will make your life better just by hearing it. I just love this album so much. Again, Dragon New Warm Mountain, I Believe in You by Big Thief. What does it mean? I don't know, but it's good. And then there's one. There can only be one, okay? This album is the album that I listened to the most this year. I probably drove people crazy, specifically my wife, by listening to it so much. The second it ends, whoosh, I rewind that puppy and start it again. This album is God Save the Animals by Alex G. For me, this album is, this is going to be silly. It's like a coin that's like rolling on the ground. You flip it and it just rolls on its side on the ground, kind of teetering, tottering. It's just these two sides constantly at war with each other. Some of the sides, for example, new and old. Okay, some songs are just pretty classic sounding, straight guitar, kind of pop songs. There's also a lot of sort of modern sounding songs with vocals, with messy vocals and strange synth sounds, strange vocals that almost sound like a hip hop song. Truly interesting, and it's just good. Also, some other sides of the coin. This album is kind of a religious album, which is weird to say. I'm not a religious person, and I just think the theme and the topic is so interestingly done on this album, because it's hard to say if it's just upfront religious or if there's an element of maybe mockery or of irony. It's hard to say, but throughout the album it has this tension that's both kind of pushing and pulling along this kind of spiritual side of things, which I think is true maybe just about life in general. Going forward, the intro to the album, absolutely amazing, sucks you in, and the last song of the album is my personal favorite song of the year, and I'm a firm believer in wow them in the end. Okay, some of the worst movies have amazing endings, and I love them. This album not only wows you in the end, but all throughout the album, I'm just constantly blown away. Also, there's some of my favorite album moments on this album. Sections of songs and sections of lyrics that I just keep coming back to because they're so interesting, exciting, and it's just an amazing album. What else can I say about it? Maybe I shouldn't say anything, okay? If you haven't heard this album, go check it out. I highly recommend it. Start at the beginning and just let it play through, okay? God Save the Animals by Alex G. Number 1, people number one. Okay, time to go back to a weird shot of nature and let's conclude this thing. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching this video, and thank you all for caring about my opinion on music. Literally, I don't know what I'm talking about, but at the very least, I hope you all find your own art, your own joys in life that inspire you, and stick with them, okay? Find that happiness, find that joy. Thanks for allowing me to share mine. I love you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you all maybe in another year. Who knows? Maybe in another life. Who knows? See ya. Bye.